Well, good morning, pro traders, and welcome to the final wrap up session for the 2021 GoPro Trading Academy Challenge. Our trading challenge this year, I think, was very successful. Thank you to all of those of you who took part. And today we're going to be, amongst other things, announcing the winners of the challenge. And also showing you the results of the winners, just so that you can get some context and compare against that. As well as discussing a couple of the things that helped people be successful, as well as a few things I noticed that people did wrong. Remember, the goal of the trading challenge primarily was to encourage you to learn how to be absolutely rigorously consistent with the strategy of your choice, but also with a level playing field. So before we get into announcing those winners, I just wanted to do a quick recap as well of what it is that you needed to make sure you didn't do. We had some pretty basic rules, but the objective of the rules in the challenge really were primarily to ensure that the playing field was level. Now, unlike most of these challenges that are out there, we weren't only looking for somebody to make profit. So the winner isn't necessarily the person who made the most profit. And in fact, the person who made the most profit in our challenge, unfortunately, was disqualified because they broke one of the most important rules that we've got. Certainly, one of the rules that we couldn't bend at all, and that was position sizing and making sure that their open risk on an individual trade did not exceed 1%. So really unfortunate with that. No names mentioned, but you know who you are. You made almost 50% over the 6 weeks, which is a really good return. But unfortunately, that's the kind of thing that over the long term will ensure that you blow your account. So in the short term, yes, it was a great return, but really it's a matter of pure luck that you survive for those 6 weeks. And maybe you'd survive 6 months, but that's not the objective of trading. It's being able to survive and thrive long term. As you guys know from our training, and I say many, many times over and over again, the vast majority of people who learn how to make money in trading will still lose it all. And those are the kind of mistakes that will ensure that. All right, so that's the one rule. A couple of the others that we had were to make or to take at least 20 trades. That was a bit of a soft rule, as I mentioned. You know, as long as you can show that you took all the trades that you validly could take, that would be okay, even if it wasn't, even if there were actually potentially more, or certainly if you were trading a strategy where there weren't 20 trades during the 6 week period. In any case, I think that you will see from our results how that all panned out. But remember, the most important thing is encouraging you to be rigorously consistent in trading a good strategy. Part of that, therefore, as I say, is that you need to not just make money in your trading, you also need to manage risk. So the winning trader is the trader who had the best return relative to their maximum drawdown. You guys have heard me talk about these ratios many times. It's a simple calculation. You simply take the total return and divide it by the maximum relative drawdown. And I'll show you that for the couple of our winning traders in a minute. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing to note, as we've done several times during the course of the challenge, is to note that it was not an easy trading period. We know that. A lot of people might feel disappointed by the lack of opportunity to apply their strategies. But to be honest with you, it's these tough periods that really separate the people who are really good and experienced traders, and therefore who should be winning the challenge, from those who are less experienced and are, less deserving, if I may say, than the winners to actually win the challenge. So it was a tough period, particularly for the type of strategies that we focus on teaching folks when they set out on their trading journey, what we typically call core strategies. And as you know, those core strategies are designed to catch high quality price movement, which typically is in trending markets where we are able to aggressively limit downside whilst looking to capture much more significant upside. Those are the sort of conditions that were relatively scarce during the 6-week period of our trading challenge. We did have some early on, and certainly in the very last week, we had some significant breakouts and some more significant directional bias in the markets. And those folks who were able to capture that, I think, were able to jump ahead, if you like, in terms of the overall rankings. All right, so what I'm not going to be able to do today is obviously trawl through all of the mistakes that many of the folks made. If you feel like you need to have more guidance in terms of what you're doing wrong, then please do drop us a message. You can do that either in the Facebook group, or you can send a message to support@gptacademy.com. All right, so if you do have any questions as well as I go through this, you're welcome to pop those into the chat box. I'm absolutely willing to field any questions you might have. One final thing to note is that once I've announced the winners, we're actually going to be chatting to them briefly, and I'll be asking them just to tell you guys a little bit about what they did to be winners. All right, so first of all, the person who came third, interesting situation. I don't actually have the statement up, but they did make a profit, but unfortunately had a more significant drawdown. But one thing I can say about the person who came third is that they did very well in the circumstances. They had some frustrating issues to deal with themselves. And it was really in the last couple of weeks that they came through. Also, interestingly, this person basically told me that they were pulling out of the challenge, but then changed their mind. And I'm very happy that you did change your mind. So, Pierre van Vuren, you actually came in third. I know this is probably going to be a big surprise to you, but that last run that you had in the last couple of weeks, where you really knuckled down and made sure that you were selecting only the appropriate conditions, did very, very well. Also, those conditions definitely helped you. So Pierre traded his own strategy. It's called Pierre's Engulfing Bar Strategy. And certainly there's enormous potential there, which I think you are busy capturing. So well done on developing your own strategy there, and also ensuring that it conforms to those essential principles of looking to, first of all, ensure that you're trading in market conditions where you're likely to be able to capture that high quality price movement, and also where your rule set looks to minimize downside and maximize upside. So very well done, Pierre. You've won 2 hours worth of coaching with me personally, and I look forward to chatting to you in more detail around what you're doing there. Okay, so that's third place. Coming in second place was Ingrid Steenekamp. So well done, Ingrid. This is what Ingrid's final result chart looked like. Now, Ingrid actually also had to move during the middle of our challenge. She was also trading the higher time frames, like daily time frames. So I think when I spoke to both our first and second places, they were quite surprised because their total return over the 6-week period wasn't as spectacular, certainly, as both of these traders have done in the past. For those of you who trade and have been trading with GoPro Trading Academy for some time and trading our strategies properly, you'll remember that just a few months ago in February, if you were trading actively and risking 1% per trade, which both of our traders here were doing, you could have easily made like 25, 30% just in February. So to walk away with basically 4.6% after costs, Ingrid, I think, was a bit surprised. But the fact of the matter, again, is not so much just the 4.6%. It's the fact that that 4.6% was earned with a maximum drawdown, or a relative drawdown of 2.16%. So a Kalmar ratio there of over 2, which is really, really, really good. So not quite as many trades as I would have had. And as you can see, just over that 6-week period, there was limited trading opportunities for Ingrid. but nevertheless, an absolutely solid performance there. I'm sure you folks will agree that, especially during the course of these 6 weeks with these really challenging conditions, it was pretty tough. So Ingrid has won a $5,000 live trading account with our funded trader program. And looking forward to supporting you, Ingrid, in maximizing that and building that up to your $2 million live account over the next couple of years with us at the GoPro Trading Academy. So very well done to Ingrid there. Yes, all the congratulations coming in from you guys. Thank you very much. Please do jump into the chat box and show your support for our winning traders here. Right, so that leaves us with our winner. Our winning trader is already part of the funded trader program and is one of the most experienced traders at GoPro Trading Academy. He's been trading with me on and off for several years, and along with Ingrid, in fact, we're one of the early joiners at the GoPro Trading Academy, largely because they knew me pretty well from prior years. It makes me really proud for both Ingrid and our winner, in fact, to say that they have been trading the GoPro Trading Academy strategies, focusing on particularly on the daily impulse, which is the strategy, as you know, that help people to learn out there for free as a way of trying to get people into trading a really bona fide professional strategy. So even though these conditions were challenging, and they will tell you this themselves as well, that those conditions were challenging, they were able to turn a neat profit. So our winning trader is Muna Forbang. So Humphrey Muna Forbang. Muna and I have, as I say, been working together on his trading for several years now. And I am absolutely thrilled to announce that he is the winner of the 2021 GoPro Trading Academy Trading Challenge. Muna walked away with just under 6% total return. His relative drawdown was also nice and low at 2.75%. So really good CalMar ratio there as well. And again, I'm sure Muna will tell you as well that he probably was a bit surprised at winning at 5.8, but I think everybody who took part in the trading challenge is probably quite surprised that they did as well as that. So I am so chuffed to announce he's the winner of a $10,000 funded account with our funded trader program. Yes, you are already part of the funded trader program, of course, but this just is another string to your bow, obviously. So huge congratulations to you. Really looking forward as well to continuing this journey with you over the coming years as we help you build that up to your $2 million accounts. And quite frankly, with the kind of performance that you showed here, if you just keep on doing this, I don't see how you can possibly fail at doing that. All right, folks, so those are our winners. So I hope you will join with me in congratulating them. Obviously, this is going to be also showing as a recording in both YouTube and on in our Facebook group. So if you are watching this as a recording, please do also jump into the comments. I'd really appreciate it if you folks who did take part in our Trading Academy will also be so kind as to share your experiences with us. What we're going to be doing as well is reaching out to you guys and just asking you to complete a short questionnaire just to help guide us in terms of how we can further help you on this journey that you are all on in becoming successful as professional funded account traders. So that's the goal of GoPro Trading Academy. That's why it is called GoPro Trading Academy. We want to help you go pro. That is absolutely the purpose behind this. And I'm sure you can see that if you do the training and you take the training seriously and you walk the path that we've laid out before you and you walk it conscientiously, then success is well within your grasp. Yes, Muna and Ingrid have been trading for a while, but I think they will both, I'm going to let them both talk to you as well and let you know for them from their own mouths exactly how they feel it's been going, and how they felt with the challenge generally, but also how things are going with the academy. All right. So first up, I'm going to ask Muna to just unmute yourself. If you can do that quickly.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
There we go.
Am I coming through?
Yes, you are. Hi, Muna.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Like Ian said, I was very surprised, and I'm very, very humble this morning.
Awesome.
Really, really humble.
No, not at all. I appreciate that, but you also worked for it, so well done. So, Muna, just give us just a little bit of insight into how you felt the challenge went.
Oh, very good. The challenge went very well for me because it helped me to concentrate on what you've been telling us to do. You know, when the conditions are tough, know when to get into the market and know when to stay out of the market. So that's one of the things that I really practiced during this challenge, and I practiced it. I'm glad that it went well.
Absolutely. I see you actually had a total of 22 trades, so it's just over that 20 mark. Do you, I mean, what were your main criteria, would you say, in terms of ensuring that you especially stayed out of the market when things were looking a little bit dodgy?
I was being very conservative. You know, you teach us the daily impulse strategy. There are ways that can be aggressive. No, I was just sticking to the conservative ways, not the daily impulse, the impulse candle, and then that. I didn't use the WM strategy, for example, which is an aggressive
Yes.
variation of the daily impulse.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So I was depending on the channels.
right. Okay.
Mm.
And in terms of, how long have you been? I think you've been with us now pretty much since the beginning of the academy, which is just really, we launched just over a year ago.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, you tell me a little bit about how you feel that that journey has culminated here in the trading challenge.
Well, I think it's been a good journey, Ian, because when I joined the academy, I looked at your introductory video and even the write-up that said, even though you may have had some other training somewhere else, even if you think that you already understand trading, please follow the structure and chronology that is laid out, because it's really going to fix things well in your mind that you will gain as you go along. So the way you design that course, the GoPro course, is designed for success in such a way that it is structured like from A, B, C. If everybody follows that structure, it's designed that they will be successful. That's what has been good for me actually, and that's what has kept me focused.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I mean, that certainly has been my intention, is to lay out a pathway for people to walk, rather than the usual approach that people take is to flit from one thing to another. If it doesn't work immediately, to jump to something else, and of course that just doesn't work.
Can I just add something, Ian?
Yeah, please.
The video that you made on choosing strategies is a very, very fine video. I think if you are new, or even if you're an old trader or experienced one, it's good to go over that video like 2 times, because there are many things there that you have come out and told us what the myths are, what the truth is, the primary goal, and the steps that someone has to follow. That video, in my view, is your greatest video, because it summarizes everything that you do in that we do, let's say that we do at the GoPro Academy.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good advice. Thanks for that. Thanks. Yeah, that video I did relatively recently. It's certainly available on YouTube and in the Facebook group to everybody, which is how to choose your strategies. Obviously, I go into all of the underlying elements there as well that go into those decisions, which affect a lot of other things in your trading. Oh, thanks for that. All right. So, Mina, that's great. Folks, if there's anything you'd like to also ask Mina or Ingrid, then please do pop those questions into the chat box. Mina, I'm just going to mute you for the moment, and let's find Ingrid. And Ingrid, would you mind just unmuting yourself there?
Hi, Ian.
Hi, good, great. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Right, you're loud and clear. Perfect. So yeah, same questions for you basically. Overall, how did you feel it went?
Well, I was definitely also very pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting anything really out of the trading challenge. I knew the training was going to be amazing. So I was, in the beginning of the year, my goal for this year was actually to, at the end of the year, I wanted to be able to either apply or have a funded account already. And this was my chance for me to kind of assess myself for where my trading was, because I was also kind of hesitant as I'm only trading one strategy, which is the daily and the H4 impulse strategy. So for me, it was kind of, I was wary, can I be successful by only trading one strategy? And it seems that it actually went really well.
Yeah, I didn't. I think you two were pretty conservative in how you did your selection.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I wanted to kind of just focus on doing things right. So I didn't want to go overboard and have a bunch of trades that, like for instance, I know with the breakout and the XABC, like I think you mentioned it in a video where you have to choose between the two.
Yeah.
So I made my choice and I decided to stick to one and not go overboard and take a bunch of trades that I'm not sure about. So that is why I think I only had like 14 trades, but I felt very good about all of the trades that I took. And that also showed me that being conservative can actually count in your favor.
Yeah, and you and I went over those as well, and the approach that you used as well, being extra conservative, those pretty much were all the trades that were in fact available to you, which is why, as I said beforehand, it was we're happy to accept your results because they are solid and you followed your process to a T. I just wanted to point out as well to everybody while we're just chatting to you that your results are a great example of convexity coming through because you, out of those 14, only 6 were winners and 8 were losers. But your average winner was $126, but your average loser was 37,
Yes.
which really just tells the story, doesn't it?
Yes, that was actually great to see.
Yeah. So, folks, I mean, there, I hope everybody sees that down here at the bottom. Average profitable trade, $126. Average loss trade, 37. So, yeah, perfect. Okay, great. And then, as I said, earlier, you've also been with us almost since the beginning. Can you tell me a little bit about? Because you also took part in the challenge last year. So, just give everyone a bit of context here, if you don't mind, of that journey.
Yes. Well, I started last year, kind of at the beginning, and I pretty much went from before GoPro Trading Academy. I probably traded about 3 to 5 strategies all at once, and I was not making any money. I was actually losing money. And then I started with GoPro Trading Academy, and surprisingly, the whole of last year, I actually started a live account. I started a few demo accounts. I started demo account with the previous trading challenge, and I actually never lost any initial account money, which was very surprising to start. So last year I didn't do as well in the trading challenge, but the training obviously helped me a lot. And then at the start of this year, I hit the ground running, and before this trading challenge, I think my personal account was up by 20%. So yeah, I'm definitely very pleased with everything that I've experienced and learned so far in the GoPro Trading Academy.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. Yeah, and it's been fun, hasn't it? So we've been
Yes, definitely.
okay, great. Thanks. So yeah, I see no one's really asking any questions of either you or Muna. Yeah, so the daily impulse really is our like benchmark strategy, if you like, for people to start with. And a big reason for that is not just because it is actually a tried and tested and successful professional trading strategy. but it also teaches people some of the most important things you need to learn. And I believe you need to learn up front in order to have a chance of being successful as a trader. And that all comes back to being able to trade a strategy that maybe doesn't win even half the time, but produces a solid, ongoing, nice, reliable return that you know you can trust, because you are always focusing on limiting downside first and letting upside look after itself. All right, great. Ingrid, thanks very much for that. And once again, congratulations. It's been a privilege teaching you guys. And I'm really proud, I must say. I have to say that it does make me feel good that the two winners are folks who solidly traded our main trading strategies and did such a good job of it. So congratulations very much, Ingrid.
Thank you.
Okay, and Pino is asking, Ingrid, Muna, are you using advanced or standard targeting? Ingrid says standard targeting during the challenge. Muna, yours was also standard targeting, wasn't it? Looking at your results. Yeah, so there wasn't any advanced targeting there. It was standard targeting, which I think was a good thing for that period of time, because very few of those market moves that we did have, and there weren't that many, very few of them really extended themselves as well. Certainly when it comes to daily impulse trading, there weren't any really long extended moves. I would also say that looking at Ingrid and Muna's results as a final comment here, that they traded very conservatively, and you can see that in these results. But that long term, now certainly if we have a very favorable trading period like we had in February, their overall profit would probably be lower than some of you guys who are more aggressive during the challenge. So they wouldn't make as much money in very friendly market conditions. But I hope you can see how, by being conservative like both Ingrid and Muna were, it helps you to not lose when times are tough. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is the most important goal, especially of an aspiring trader, is to minimize losses when times are tough, and possibly even make money, as both of them did over here. Whereas, most people are focused on maximizing their returns first and foremost, and hoping that that will be enough to cover any of the drawdowns. Well, that's generally not the case. You need to always focus on making sure you don't lose, or lose as little as possible in really tough trading conditions, even if that means that you don't make quite as much in the really friendly conditions, because it means, first of all, overall, you're much more likely to survive. And quite frankly, when you add it all together at the end of the day, because you minimize those losses, your overall trading performance is in fact better. Certainly when you apply something like the Kalmar ratio, which we did here, which is return divided by maximum relative drawdown. So we've got a comment here. I don't know who user is. Sorry, I don't know who you are, but I do know who you are, but I don't know who you are. The trading truly gets one delving deep into the underlying factors where trading Forex is concerned, and also about you as an individual. It tests your nature and psychology, and even your discipline. Thank you very much, GoPro. All right, I really appreciate that comment. And I'd certainly back it up and validate it by saying that one of the things that I certainly found in my over 30 years journey as a trader, and certainly as a professional trader, and certainly in the last going on 17 years as an independent trader, it teaches you a lot about yourself. There is a lot more to the benefits of trading than just making money. And that's certainly one of the things that I've found most interesting in my journey as a trader. All right, folks, has anybody else got any questions for either me or for our winning traders? While I wait for that, please remember, do give us feedback on your experience in the Facebook group. Really would appreciate that. And likewise, also, please do look for the link to the questionnaire that we're going to be popping in there. That questionnaire is available to everybody. You'll be able to just give us some feedback in terms of some of the questions we have for you, which will really help us to help you. I'm a very patient person, but let me tell you here, again, I'm not sure who this is, but my patience got tested and I thought I was going to lose my mind. I'm truly grateful to the challenge, and now I know how to make my millions. That's also really glad to hear that. And Pino's asking, user, what's your name? Who are we talking to here? But that's a really good comment. It is, as I mentioned right in the beginning of today's session, the goal for me with this trading challenge was to help people to learn how to take that next trade. Now, that's easy if you're winning. No one has a problem taking the next trade if you've just had a winner. The difficulty is when you've had one and then two and then 3, 4, 5 losers in a row. And that's why Ensei Kota, as you guys know from all of our training sessions together, I keep mentioning this quote when he was interviewed by Jack Schwager, who wrote Market Wizards and New Market Wizards back in the 1990s. Ensei Kota is one of the most successful traders of modern times. When he was asked, what's the difference between a professional trader and the rest? The answer was simply, the professional trader always takes the next trade. And that is such a short statement to make, and yet it is filled with so much that if you think about that, you ponder on it, meditate on it, it will guide you in the right direction towards your success. All right, folks. So once again, I really appreciate you having taken the time and making the effort to take part in our trading challenge. It has been fun for Corinne and I. We will obviously be doing it again. Right now, we want to consolidate and improve wherever we can in terms of our making that path straighter and smoother for you guys in terms of helping you, first of all, get into our funded trader program and build up to a $2 million account and then even beyond that. So thank you so much for being part of it. And so on. All right, we've got one question before I wrap it up. For Ingrid, how many instruments are you going to focus on from here going forward? It's actually a good point. It's for both of you. If you want to just pop it into the chat box there. It's actually a good point in terms of comparing Muna's trading and Ingrid's. You'll notice that the general shape of their equity curves has some similarity to it. Muna traded a few more instruments outside of just the currency pairs, whereas Ingrid stuck just to a relatively smaller subset of currency pairs only, and nothing outside of that. So all right, so we'll make sure that that question also gets answered in the group. But yeah, I'd say that certainly I can answer for Muna that when it comes to, oh, there we go. Yes, indeed, he's ready to see big upsides for very low downside. Certainly is. And Ingrid, how many instruments and positions are you going to focus on here going forward? If you want to answer that, I can also say that generally speaking, Ingrid is good at really just focusing on a smaller set of instruments just to make sure that it fits in with her schedule and what have you, which as you can see has actually worked very well over here. All right, folks, thank you very much again. And please don't forget to jump into the Facebook group and give us your feedback and to answer our questionnaire. And we really look forward to improving things for next time. And we will do another trading challenge probably sooner rather than later, as it's been such a success for everybody. All right, folks, really been great to have you with us. I'll chat to you all again soon in our training. See you then. Bye for now.